Welcome to This Is Getting Old, Moving Towards an Age-Friendly World. I'm Melissa Batchelor, and today I'm going to be talking about smell, memory, and Alzheimer's disease. So have you ever smelled anything that took you right back to a memory? A smell can bring on a wide range of feelings and memories. And for me, I think when I smell fresh cut grass, it takes me right back to childhood memories of playing outside in the warm summer days. The smell of Otis Spunkmeyer cookies reminds me of many days spent in long-term care facilities, and I always felt happy to be there at work helping other people. So first of all, how does smell work? So we have these smell neurons or receptors in our nose that connect to a very short nerve that's about 2 inches long, and it's called the olfactory nerve. And it runs down the back of our nose to this structure in our brain called the amygdala. And the amygdala triggers emotions and feelings and is basically like the emotional spark plug of the brain. So a smell detected by our smell neurons reaches that amygdala first because of that short pathway from the nose to the amygdala. And that's why we may immediately experience an emotion when we smell something. So since smell neurons send a signal to the amygdala first, we may not be able to identify exactly what the smell is before we have a feeling about it. And so that's why so many smells are remembered as feelings, which I think is fascinating. So secondly, how is smell impacted by Alzheimer's disease? So losing your sense of smell has been linked to early changes in the brain related to Alzheimer's disease and in mild cognitive impairment, which may or may not turn into Alzheimer's disease. And I'm sure by now you've probably heard about the study that was done in 2013 that found that not being able to smell peanut butter could be an early indicator of Alzheimer's disease, and in fact thought it might be considered a warning sign. The reason they thought this was it was likely due to the brain shrinkage that happens in Alzheimer's disease on the left side of the brain, where the temporal lobe degenerates first. Like any other good science, you need to be able to replicate the study, and the following year, they weren't actually able to replicate those same results. So it's not a definitive way to know if you have Alzheimer's disease or if you're going to get it. But if you are experiencing changes in your sense of smell, please work with your primary care provider and get it checked out. Thirdly, memories and smell. So I'm sure you have some memories that you associate with a smell, and if you do, deliberately exposing yourself to that smell can help you travel back in time to that moment. So I actually recently watched a movie as I was preparing for this podcast called The Cleaner with Samuel L. Jackson. And in the movie, his wife had passed away. And in one of the scenes, he sprayed her perfume into the air during a moment that he wanted to remember her. So perfumes and colognes often remind me of certain people when I smell them. In fact, I've actually worn the same perfume for 17 years, and my friends and children definitely associate this scent with me because about a couple of years ago, I bought a different perfume, and one whiff, and my daughter was like, "What is that smell?" And I was like, "Oh, I got a new perfume." She's like, "Yeah, no, that doesn't smell like you." So I guess it's me and Coco Chanel Mademoiselle for the long haul. So the next time you have a meaningful life experience, like relaxing on the beach or being in a noisy stadium with a hot dog stand, take a moment to inhale the smells that are around you. Take a few minutes to appreciate the qualities of those scents. And the other option is to use scents to travel back to a certain time. I've always sprayed lavender on the pillowcases of my kids when it was time for them to go to sleep. And so that's just another way to associate that smell with relaxation and it's time to go to sleep. So you can use it to travel back to pleasant memories or to help you relax and unwind at the end of the day or to recall any other special event in your life. So thank you for being with me today to talk about smells, memory, and Alzheimer's disease. And I will see you next time. Thank you for tuning in to This Is Getting Old, Moving Towards an Age-Friendly World. I'm your host, Melissa Batchelor, and if you'd like to learn more, you can check out my other episodes on my YouTube channel by subscribing and ringing the bell to get immediate notifications when new content comes out. In addition, you can also find the audio version of the podcast on Amazon Music, Spotify, iTunes, and Stitcher. Please feel free to leave an honest review because more reviews mean more awareness of the podcast and helps us move towards an age-friendly world. If you have a comment or a question, you can visit my website, melissabphd.com. Go to the Contact Melissa tab, and you can leave me a voice message. You never know, I might just include your question or your comment in an upcoming episode.